Hello and welcome to the Crookedrivercast. This is Robert, and joining me from his musical lair is Tom, and we are just two guys from Northeast Ohio just asking, has anyone even picked up the art of the deal? This is show 45 on January 24th, 2026. Wow, so much has happened this last week. Let's discuss. In the morning, sir.
In the morning, Rob.
How are you doing in this fine, crispy morning we have here?
My feet are cold.
I got old man slippers on today.
Do you?
Yes, as my kids call them, old man slippers.
Accurate. Oh, you are an old man, by the way. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can play this too because this is actually fitting because when I played this last week,
you say it's your birthday. It's my birthday
it's
too.
almost my birthday too.
Okay.
It's almost my birthday too. Yes, folks, our birthdays are like 5 days apart. I think is it 5 days? Yeah, 5 days.
Yeah. Today would be a few days after, right?
Yes. Yeah, recording here a couple days after, so I'm officially, as my lovely daughter made a card for me. My 15-year-old, who is currently, that's what we had. I had to step away from the mic before we started to get something for my wife, which is the birth certificate and Social Security card, so that she can go take her temp test.
Nice.
So she wrote me a card, drew me a card, made me a card with a speedometer on it at 51, and said, "Wow, that was fast." You're old.
And then she gave you old man slippers.
I have had these actually since last year.
Yeah, that's about right.
It was my wife that told me they were old man slippers. I said, you know what? They're warm. And I went, crap. I just did that, didn't I? So yeah, that's our next little adventures driving.
Oh, she'll be all right.
Yeah, so you could do finding out a little bit, boots on the ground, as they say, for the show. In case anyone hasn't done this in a while, which I, of course, haven't. You can take it online. You take the temp test online from your computer.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
With certain restrictions.
All right.
So you get on, and it has to have a webcam on it, because it has to take your picture, and then periodically through the test, it may or may not take additional pictures to make sure you're actually the one filling out the temp test, which...
How do they know what you look like?
I guess if you got a 51-year-old man doing the test, they probably could figure out, it's not a 15-year-old girl.
Okay.
So in one way, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Because I was thinking, well, how do they know it's not just the parents filling out the temp test? Because,
right.
I know it sounds crazy to some people, but, oh yeah, the parents would do it for sure, especially nowadays. Oh, poor little Johnny can't... I'll take the test for him. What could go wrong? But as my daughter found out,
I wish I had a screeching car moment.
Yeah, I know.
From a sound effect.
Crash. So she failed the first time.
Aw.
Yeah, and I was like, well, how'd you fail? She goes, it was questions like, how many points is a speeding ticket on your license?
Well, we had those same questions.
Yeah, I know. But everybody I've told this says, why the hell is that on the temp test? And I was like, I guess they want to scare you and let you know that you could get your license taken away.
I think they need to make you aware of what things are.
Yeah. So she's like, I didn't even think about like studying for that part of it. I was like, you're supposed to study for all of it. But hey, okay, I'm starting to find secrets to her madness, I guess. So that's been fun. So, and then you can only take it twice online every 6 months. You can take it every day in person as many times as you want. Every 24 hours you can go in.
Okay.
So you can only take it twice online. So then she goes back in a couple of days later to take it again. And something gets screwed up, and it's saying it thinks she already took the test twice. So now she's very frustrated because now you got to drive all the way to Bureau of Motor Vehicles and deal with that. I don't, of course, because I've got a show to do.
They're going there today, huh?
Yeah, that's when she stopped in before we started recording and asked me for all that stuff. They got it locked away, And I said, okay.
Wow, it's a great time to get a temp. No salt on the roads.
Salt shortage. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Then yes, I don't think she's going to be driving anytime soon. At least until the roads, or at least warms up a little bit. At least like get a parking lot that's clean. I like that. I think I want to take her to like a mall, like a larger mall.
Yeah, you know which
like on a Sunday.
The high school on PV there you can do also during off hours because it's a pretty good parking lot to set up.
That's a good idea.
Cones on and stuff if you have them. Yeah,
that's a good idea. The mall, because I was driving through one a while back and I thought this would be good. Like on a Sunday, not now because it gets dark too early, but on a Sunday at like 6 after the mall closes.
Yeah,
they have like there's actual roads and stop signs and all that stuff, and it is private property, so you could even do it without a temp tag. I would imagine
probably, yeah. Because
you probably if cops saw you, might give you some headaches, but it is. Yeah. I think it is private property. So, but I think I saw that as like, that's a good way to like get some road time in, not actually being on the road. So maybe we'll do that.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, I did donuts on mall parking lots, but you can do what you wanted to.
Yes.
Remember the good old days with rear-wheel drive cars?
Yes. I could do it with my truck.
Yeah.
I could do it. We could show it how to do it with front-wheel drive car. I mean, just put it in reverse, right?
Yeah. But for some reason, those light poles stand out a little bit more to me nowadays.
Oh yeah. Definitely do.
Back then, it was like, I'm not going to hit that.
What? I forgot. This clicked in my head. Our latest binge for her and I on movies series is and like I said, it just clicked in my head. It all comes together now. Fast and Furious. But we've been watching.
Okay, cool.
Fast and Furious.
I've only seen a couple of them.
I now have to probably go tell her. This is not how you normally drive on the road.
Oh no! Drifting is the way you do it.
That's how you normally take a corner in the middle of the city in rush hour is at 98 miles an hour with all 4 tires screeching.
She needs about 600 horsepower in her rear-wheel drive car so she can steer with her gas pedal.
Yes, gas pedal and the clutch.
Yep.
Her car that she's falling in love with is a Nissan GTR.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Now a lot of it's because of the movie.
Yeah,
I've loved that car since I saw it. First time I saw it on Top Gear 10 years ago. I mean, this car's 10, 15 years old. Mm-hmm. It is an unbelievable car. Apparently, each engine and transmission are built in synchronous together. You cannot take one out and swap it to another one without. They're like made together. They're like married, and it's like this crazy. They put the suspension on when it's already under load to make sure it's all. And it's like at the time it was a car that was well under 100,000, which was
it?
Oh yeah, they were 60, 80,000. They were double what a Subaru Evo was, and at the time I think that was around 40,000.
Okay,
yeah, this is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So at the time it was like, wow, you get a bang for your buck on that thing. But man, some of them, so good. So that's what we've been going through. Besides the snow apocalypse, of course, but we'll see what happens. Well, I'm just waiting for a dud to come rolling through when you get like a half inch of snow. But I don't think so. But man, a lot of times when they push this hard on stuff, it's like all of a sudden it rolls through with nothing. But I think this might be a exception.
I think they're pushing hard because of other areas, not Northeast Ohio as much.
Yeah. It's for Atlanta and all those places where they may get horrible amounts of ice, which is really going to be life-threatening to some because it takes down power lines. And
I drove through Atlanta one time with, it was like a freezing rain. I was coming home from Florida. It was a freezing rain. And people just can't drive. They don't know how to handle that.
Yeah, it happens once every 10 years, so. Maybe less, but...
Or when Tom comes through.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just waiting for the climate change, that's all. Thinking about just running my truck outside just to see if I can help speed up the climate change a little bit. Do my part, do my part.
I wouldn't mind a degree or two more.
Yeah, it could help. So as we
Wouldn't want to go the other way.
what a week. Oh no. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so everybody's well, global warming is better than global cooling. Cuz yeah. So this week, man, I have quite the clips this week. I couldn't help it. I really can't. I really couldn't. President Trump gave me a birthday present. I don't know about you, but his speech in Davos was, oh my gosh.
You know,
The porn music was rolling. Shoot, I forgot to pull porn music. I wanted to do that this week. It would have been perfect.
I heard his first one from his first term, and that was awesome.
This one did not disappoint either.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
Okay, well, we're going to go through some of them. Some of these are just, like I said, I'm listening, I'm going, wow, this is the best birthday gift a guy could ask for. A guy who's got everything. What could you get the guy who has everything? They always ask. How about this?
Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, we're taking them down and not approving any. The United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse, which befell every European nation that pursued the Green New Scam, perhaps the greatest hoax in history. The Green New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land. Destroy your land. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000.
$1,000.
You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. There are windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. China makes almost all of the windmills.
China.
And yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them. They sell them for a fortune.
To who?
They sell them to the stupid people that buy them. But they don't use them themselves.
In front of the stupid
people. They put up a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin. They don't do anything. They use a thing called coal, mostly. They're shocked that people continue to buy those damn things. They killed the birds. They ruin your landscapes. Other than that, I think they're fabulous, by the way. Stupid people buy them.
In front of all the stupid people.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, it was so good. Oh, so good. I think I watched the entire speech. It was, hour and a half? Something like that. It was crazy.
I bet, because I remember his first term, he did a speech. He wasn't attacking them as much. It was more like, hey, you got to look out for America now.
Yeah.
And I remember why I watched it, and I was like, man, this guy hasn't looked at a note his entire speech, and that impressed me a lot, because usually he's and he didn't ramble, I guess I should add, because a lot of times he likes to.
Well, he has a teleprompter in front of him, right? Most of the time, the piece of glass. You can almost tell when he's on and off. I can't usually.
I didn't think he had one on that one. He might have this time.
This time he did, because if you see the two pieces of glass on either side of his podium, that's his teleprompter.
Oh, he didn't have that last time.
Okay.
It was a little different. He didn't even have a podium. Maybe it wasn't Davos. It might have been like the World Economic Forum.
Oh, could have been. Yeah. Okay.
But he was talking to basically the same people, I think.
But I can usually pick when he's on. When he's reading his teleprompter, he's he's much more monotone.
Right.
And when he's weaving, because I tell you what, he's tough to clip. They talk about no agenda. He's tough to clip because he weaves in and out. You don't know what to clip. There's always good stuff here.
Well, that's why they can also attack him.
Yeah,
that's there's problems there with that too.
Because he weaves a little too much sometimes. And sometimes it almost feels like he backs himself into a corner when he rambles on.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But speaking of stupid people, I think the president disagrees with your assessment of what's going on in Minnesota, Tom, because here's another clip.
What was my assessment?
Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, of the Somali people, what's going on with Somali people. And these first three clips are just basically my birthday present to myself from Trump's speech. So there's three of them that stood out to me. And this one, I said, well, Tom's not going to like this because Trump says, you're wrong.
But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought?
See?
I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money?
See, Tom?
And we have, they're pirates. They're good pirates, right? But we shoot them out of the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately. Do you notice?
No, they're not.
The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. I mean, we're taking people from Somalia, and Somalia is it's not a nation. Got no government, got no police, got no military, got no nothing.
Got no nothing.
And then we have this fake congressperson who they just reported is worth $30 million. You believe this? Ilhan Omar, talking about the Constitution provides me. She comes from a country that's not a country, and she's telling us how to run America. Not going to get away with it much longer, let me tell you.
What did that mean? Interesting. I was low IQ. I said, "Oh, Tom's got to hear this.
Well,
Tom's got to hear this."
I'll push back on that. The three high IQ Somalians you do have an IQ of 101, and they can figure out how to do this. It's not that hard. And then it's easy to convince all the Somalians with an IQ of 60.
It's easy to do it when you've got help on the inside.
Oh yeah. If you
That's
have
what I'm going to. They're not high IQ. They've got help. So it's pretty easy when everybody's turning a blind eye to it. You really don't have to be that smart or good at it. You just have to have somebody on the inside, either telling you how to do it and turning the other way.
Yep.
But to your point, my next clip I have of this is actually there's one short one right after that too. But this one, to your point, why don't more presidents say this? Why can't? I don't think these people know how to handle somebody this aggressive from the United States.
No kidding.
They haven't had one like this in 30 or 40 years. I think the last one might have been Reagan.
I don't think he was anywhere near as aggressive as this.
Yes, good point. I don't think Reagan was anywhere near aggressive. He was just the most aggressive we've had maybe in my lifetime. How's that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I just, going back into history, I don't know the personalities of which presidents would have been this aggressive. I think of Reagan with Gorbachev, and years later we heard, how, here's the ultimatum. We're going to walk away from the table. Reagan walking away from the table during negotiations with Gorbachev was pretty. Yeah. It's pretty based. So I don't think, and he was as aggressive as Trump is in public, but we're also in a different time. Yeah.
And I think this kind of stuff needs to be said way more often than it has been, and we need to continue to say it. And I'm hoping our next president will continue it, because this is my favorite one. Here.
But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us, it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We want to work with them. We're not looking to destroy them. I could have said 39, 40%. I could have said I want a 70% tariff. Then we make money with Switzerland. But Switzerland would have been probably destroyed, financially destroyed. I don't want to do that. But we should be paying the lowest interest rate of everybody. I hope Scott's listening to this, because we should be paying the lowest interest rate of everybody. Without us, most of the countries don't even work. And then you have the protection factor. Without our military, which is the greatest in the world by far, without our military, you have threats that you wouldn't believe. You don't have threats because of us.
Because of us. Without us. Yeah, at one point in the speech, it says, without us, you're speaking German and a little bit of Japanese.
Nice.
And then lastly, real quick, this is a very quick one, but he had a little message for his Canadian counterpart. Here, let's just run through this one real quick. It's like 10 seconds.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
That was a not very happy President Trump in that clip. You could tell he was not.
Mhm.
Hey, watch your mouth, buddy. Without us, you're basically China's bitch. So that was, oh man, that was so good. So good. Kind of got me pumped to watching it. I don't know. I just, if you got the biggest thing around, if you don't swing it, then what's the point of having it? I mean, we could do it with respect to our allies, but eventually every once in a while, they need to be told who's actually in charge here.
Yeah.
And for years, we've had globalists when America's not the most important thing to most presidents. Bush, Clinton, Obama. And it's just very refreshing. And hell yes, this is what I voted for.
Yep.
It's exactly what I voted for. People say they want, time and time again, I've heard over the years, we just want a leader to tell us how it is. Tell us the truth. Don't focus group test it. Don't, soften it up for our feelings. Tell us how it is. And when we get a president that tells us how it is, all I hear is pearl clutching. Not all I hear, but so, oh my gosh, why do you have to say that about this, that, and the other thing? It's like, give me a break, people. Come on. What do you want? Do you want to be respected around the world? Well, guess what's happening? We're way more respected around the world on that.
Where did the downfall start? Well, we can go way back, I guess.
I would say after the fall of Soviet Union, we could start there in early 90s, because that's when it seems like, I don't know, I think it was, I'm sure it was before then, but I think maybe Reagan was a blip in the, because the Cold War was good for a lot of people. A lot of governments, I should say, because there was a lot of spending, a lot of wedge division between nations and people and stuff like that. It was really good. So the fall of the Soviet Union was kind of, I would think, for the military industrial complex, probably a pretty, it's not what they wanted.
Of course not.
Because then what do we do? Now we have no reason for all these ships and nukes and stuff.
Well, then we have to go into Iraq.
Oh yeah, and various other
places around Middle East. Yeah.
So I don't know
where you can't solve anything, so it's a forever thing.
Yeah. Well, when you do it the way we do it, you got to make it that way, right? That's the only way you can make money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump's found a different way to make money. Make Europe buy everything. Make Europe defend themselves. What a thought. What a thought. How about you take care of your own crap? You guys are big boys, aren't you?
No, I mean, if you look at what's going on in most of the Europe nations, you have to wonder what's happening to the population there. As in strength, you know what I mean? Like, there's this just meek male coming out of there. Not all. I'm not saying all.
Not all, but that seems the prominent message coming out of Europe, most of Europe.
Yeah.
And anybody who's against that, well, they're racist.
Exactly. And they're letting them do it. That's the scare. Like, nobody's pushing back. And now if you push back, Jesus, you're in jail.
I mean, they're doing the same stuff over there. They're importing massive amount, as Trump said, massive amount of people from cultures that don't have successful countries. We're importing massive amounts of people from countries that they're not even countries. They're just, they're not an organized unit. So what do you expect when they come over here?
I think the proper term is shitholes.
Shitholes, yes, shitholes, crap countries. But what do you expect them to come over and do over here? Excel? Are we picking and choosing the best out of those populations and bringing them over here? No, we're just bringing massive amounts of the poorest of the poor. Yeah. So I could get into, we'll keep moving for the show. But anyway, so that was Davos. That was quite, I think I have another clip that will go into our next topic. Yes. So we had mentioned last week that President Trump and the White House had released their healthcare plan. So we'll figure we can go over that a little bit. It's pretty interesting. I like some of it. I like a lot of it. I like all of it, I guess. I'm not convinced a lot of it will get done. So what's the plan? It's basically a 4-part plan. It looks like we put a PDF in the show notes. You guys can check it out. It'll be on the blog post. And here's the 4 basic points: lower drug prices, lower insurance premiums. Okay, no brainer. Hold big insurance companies accountable. Okay, I can get on board with that. And maximize price transparency. I think the first two really, but the lowering drug prices is going to be pretty interesting coming later this year if we can see results before the midterms.
We've lowered a lot of the drug prices already, right?
Some of them, yes. I think during his first term, he did a lot with insulin and slashed the price of insulin. I think that was his first term.
Yeah, and then we got the fatty drug lowered too.
Oh, he just got that lowered. The LP1, fat pill.
GPL or GLP.
GPL, GLP, whatever it is.
Yeah,
the fat pills.
Wegovy
and whatever the other one was.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, got those cut down. I mean,
he should get all the fatties votes.
You're right. What?
Blue hair or not? Come on.
Oprah better be pumped because she's making tons off this. Well,
yeah.
Of course she's not. I mean, she's divested all of her. And speaking of that, it's funny because I heard Weight Watchers' new ad. And it's
aren't they selling the GLP or GPL now?
They've gotten rid of basically, as far as I can tell, because I've known people that were on this. It was a pretty regiment thing. Oh yeah, yeah, and many people on it. It's about points and this and that and kind of and they push their food. They had their Weight Watchers kind of stuff that they would sell you to help you along the way, but you didn't have to. But you just go by calories count and all that kind of stuff, and you had points every week or month and. That's, as far as I can see, that's all gone, and they are strictly basically selling you pills because it's no longer your fault.
Right.
It's a disease. It's a disease. I think, it's a disease. I mean, being fat is not the disease. Not being able to stop eating is the disease, I'm told. Yeah. So that's lowering drug prices. So at Davos, in his speech, he kind of peeled the curtain back so we could see behind it and how he kind of negotiated some of this, and it's pretty good. So here's what he had to say about drug prices at Davos, and he talked to, and speaking to his friend apparently, Emmanuel Macron.
We have a favored nations policy that every president wanted, no president was able to get. I got it, and other nations approved it. And I had to use tariffs in order to get it because they said, no way. In other words, a pill that costs 10% in London costs $130. Think it costs $10 in London, costs $130 in New York or in Los Angeles. And I'd say, boy, that's bad. Friends of mine would say, we go to London, you can buy the stuff for nothing. We go all over the world, we can buy it for nothing. Because basically America was subsidizing every nation in the world.
Yep.
Because presidents allowed them to get away with it. It became very tough. So when I called up Emmanuel Macron, I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses. What the hell happened? But I watched him sort of be tough. But he was at $10 for a pill. And I said, Emmanuel, and I have all the big pharmaceutical companies are in total agreement. It wasn't easy, by the way. They're tough, smart. They've been getting away with the scam for a long time. But they gave it up. But they said, you'll never get the countries to approve it. I said, why is that? Because they won't. They always said, we're not paying any more. get the rest for the United States. So over the years, they stayed the same. We just went up, up, up. And I mean, we would pay 13, 14, 15 times more than some certain countries would. So I said, no, they'll approve it 100%. Sir, you'll never get them to approve it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Hard to believe, isn't it? So here he's telling us about his negotiation strategy, basically how he's gotten these drug companies, he's pushing the drug companies to lower the prices to the United States. And I've said this for years. People complain about drug prices. I say, well, yeah, as all the other countries get socialized medicine and regulate the drug prices, the only one left is America. The only place they can make up whatever profit they want to make on it is America, because every other place has the price capped. And when he goes to the insurance company, they're like, nah, you're never gonna. I mean, we'd love to do it, but yeah, other countries won't, because over the years they've said, no, we're not budging. Get the rest from the United States, and we've been subsidizing the rest of the world's drug prices for decades. That's why we're paying, I don't know what the numbers are, $1,000 for a Tylenol in a hospital. Well, that may be a different story, but. To his point, it's been a scam for decades. And why would presidents not? I can't imagine why presidents and Congress wouldn't make this a talking point for any of the last elections in the last 25 years, 30 years. I can't imagine.
Why do you think?
There's a lot of money. Lots and lots of where do I have it?
Wow, lots of donor money.
Lots of money. Just like the news organizations, just like the cable news, just like the CNNs and the Foxes.
Actually, that's the thing I want to see most. Is
Washington is the same.
Yeah. But I want right as far as money goes.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to see is the banning of advertising
ads.
Yeah.
I think, man, that would be, how many news organizations would go out of business? I think a lot of them would, and all of them would shrink tremendously without that money. I mean, it's 75% of their revenue is.
That's okay. Revenue. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. We got way too many as it is. We really need to, focus our media. We've got to. It's very diluted. There's a whole lot of reporters that shouldn't be reporters because they're not qualified.
Well, they're the activists.
Yes, but exactly. So that would put a pretty good premium on good journalism. That if you had a lot less outlets.
Well, they're starting to do it at CBS.
And it's not like, I mean, if the market bears it, fine. But apparently the market doesn't, because all their money comes from drug companies. So. Advertisement. So let's finish off here.
Yeah, but why does a talking head need to make, $8 million a year?
Or $200,000 a year.
I mean, I don't mind if they make good money, but they, sometimes it's like really? Yeah. You're making that much? Come on.
In some cases, if they're getting, 5 million people a night, you could maybe justify it, but not at CNN. You're not getting that ever.
Well, exactly. That's one thing. But even the ones that are getting that, then now it's your. Are they really authentic at that point? When you're paying them that much, and they're just going to do what you ask them to do.
Well, they're going to do whatever keeps the people tuning in. You would think.
Yeah, or whatever the drug companies want you to do. It doesn't matter. It's they're bought and sold, and they're not true journalists at that point.
I'm hoping that's the next pain point that they push on.
Yeah.
Next quick one here, a little bit from how he got this done. I guess we'll just finish this off. Drug prices, Davos.
I said, Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling? No. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it. You're going to do it fast. And if you don't, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes.
That one hurts.
That's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. and you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that.
just did.
No, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country, saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years. And they said, we will not do it. I said, that's all right. On Monday morning, we're putting a 25, 30, 50. I gave different numbers for different countries. This is also national security we're talking about. Not fair. We're not going to subsidize the whole world. And every one of those countries have agreed to do it.
Everyone. That's why I said, has anyone even picked up and looked at the cover of The Art of the Deal? I have never even read it, but
I haven't. But obviously nobody else has, because he just keeps doing it over and over again.
Yeah, it's
Greenland.
It's not even like a very strategic. It's called just basic negotiating. When you go into your boss's office, hey, here's a tip in case anyone doesn't know. When you go into your boss's office and you want a 10% increase on your salary, you don't start at 10. You probably should start at 30 or 40 or go crazy, go 50%. Really wow them.
I think one of the keys also is you need to be willing to walk away from
there you go.
Deal.
Yeah. You need to have a number. What do you want? And where are you going to walk away if you don't get it? It's kind of, what's the final thing? Yeah. Just like going to a car dealership. If you're not willing to get up, you should never go in and expect it to buy. You should always go in waiting to walk out kind of thing, and that's how they get you. And it's the same kind of thing. Like I said, it's not rocket science, people. It's just plain old negotiation. And if they can't see that, well, I don't know. Maybe they're just low IQ. I don't know. And then Greenland. Oh, that's good. I wasn't sure if we get to Greenland, but that's the other. I want to own it. It's going to be mine. I want to own it. And all I hear in the reports is, oh, Trump backed down on his. He backs down on his Greenland. Backs down on Greenland. He backed down on Greenland. So when I hear back down, I hear he won because he never wanted to buy it. I mean, he would have.
Oh, I think he would have been happy if that would have been America.
Yeah, that would have been fine. But
he would have been. I think he's disappointed, but he ultimately got what he wanted.
Sure.
I think personally he was disappointed.
Sure. I would love a 50% increase in my salary, but a 25% is good too.
Yeah.
I'll take that, And if they offer me 4, I'm going to walk out. Right. There's very simple.
I think his ego was disappointed. Like, I think he would have liked to make that United States territory for historical reasons. But he got what he wanted. He got the mineral rights and all that. I mean,
and if he goes through the history during his speech, and he talks about how if it wasn't, during World War II, we had to go in and secure Greenland because the Germans were going to, we were afraid the Germans were going to make a U-boat base in Greenland. So we had to go in and secure it. And some reason we gave it back, even like he said, very stupidly, we gave it back. Why did we give it back? We don't know why we gave it back. We should never give it back. And so we've already been there. We've already had to do this once. And to me, this is there's something here. I don't know. I keep going back to Ukraine, Russia, all this negotiations going on. And then it feels like to me, I'm sure it's not, but it feels like to me, all of a sudden it kind of went away. And then Trump wants Greenland again. Not again, but he starts pushing again on it. And it almost feels like we're not getting the truth about these negotiations and how well or how they've been going. Maybe they haven't been going that well. And all of a sudden Greenland became a lot more important, a lot quicker than we thought because of Russia. I don't know. But that's just my tinfoil hat. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does it make sense when I said that?
Kind of.
Like maybe the negotiations didn't go very well when they were a little more hostile than we're being told. And that's why Greenland became a priority quicker than we originally thought. I don't know. Maybe Russia's going to attack us, but I doubt it. First, they have to roll through Europe, like everybody says they're going to do. But they're running out of troops and weapons, so
they can't even take over Ukraine.
Yeah, my argument is if they wanted to, they would have.
I think with a massive push to take over, they could do it easily, but they're not having an easy time.
Generally speaking, in the terms of war, from what my limited brain knows, if you want to take over land and you don't really give a crap about it, you start with massive bombing and just put it into the Stone Age.
Right. And
then you roll through with tanks and there's very little left. That's my theory is if Russia wanted to, they could level without even nukes. When we talk about nuclear, just with dumb bombs, they could level Kyiv and all the other major cities and just roll through and take it. But I don't know. Not to make it look like Putin's just, he's just a nice guy. I just think there's some other strategy there. They don't want to. Maybe they actually don't want Ukraine. I don't know. Could be. Anyway, so Greenland. I did have a clip from Greenland because as I'm looking up Greenland, our friend Nick Shirley was in Greenland not too long ago. Mr. Minnesota. He was in Greenland back when Trump, I think this is a year ago, these clips are from. And I had to at least get this one because this kind of settles, or just kind of puts it all in a little bit of perspective. So he's going around asking people a year ago if should America buy Greenland? And you get some mixed, mostly no. No, we don't. And I get that. I'm like, I wouldn't want anybody to buy my country either. But it actually came down to this right here. So he's talking to, they look like 20-somethings, maybe 20, 22, somewhere in that age, local Greenlanders. And something kind of pointed out to me, speaking of Greenland, there's a good mix. So there's some Greenlanders that look like your typical Greenlander, like very white, blonde hair, kind of, what is that, Norwegian kind of like looking. Mm-hmm. But then there's almost like a Native American, Filipino kind of class of people. I think those are like the natives to the area.
I don't know anything.
So it was interesting because they looked Asian. They looked Filipino, but almost Eskimo, but kind of, I'm sure these are some of the original people that went over there when it was super cold and whatever. So anyway, but that's what these guys are. These guys, they look like kind of Filipino guys, and they've got a thick accent, but he kind of puts it all in perspective with this. Right?
Is Greenland for sale?
No. See, we live here. Trump cannot buy Greenland.
What will you do if he does buy Greenland?
I will ask Trump if he can kayak on his own without help. If he can buy. If he can't, he don't buy.
So if the United States were to buy Greenland and you were able to get $20,000, would you do it?
I will not say yes for money.
No.
For Greenland or money, I will choose Greenland. We live in Greenland. He cannot buy this.
For $100,000, would you guys sell Greenland? If each citizen of Greenland got $100,000, would you sell your country?
Yes.
But you said Greenland is not for sale, but you'd sell it for $100,000.
Money is money. The will boy will understand.
That's why I had to leave. That kind of sells it. No, not for 100 grand. Yeah, actually I would. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bye. See you later. When's my check coming?
I can go somewhere warm.
So next is on this, let's wrap up this healthcare plan thing. So go check it out. It's interesting. It's kind of the push they've been going through now with this, these subsidies for the Obamacare Act expiring. Now it's in the Senate side, and the Senate wants to do they want to try to force the House to do kind of what their plan is, which is better, but still sucks in my opinion. Lower insurance premiums. This is one of the things he brought up, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I think we talked last week. I forget where. Oh, yes. He was telling the GOP, to a group of GOP people, you need to own this. And lowering insurance premiums, one of the ways he feels you can lower insurance premiums is give money to the people, not the damn insurance companies. We talked about that last week. Yeah. Tied it in with college tuition. It's like when the money's guaranteed, why not raise it? I mean, the federal government's got endless funds. So putting that in the hands of people will create an actual competitive marketplace. And you'll actually have something a little more fair, in my opinion. Holding big insurance companies accountable is his next point. So creating plain English insurance standards, they're saying. Require healthcare insurance companies to publish rate and coverage comparisons upfront on their websites in plain English, not industry jargon, so consumers can make a better insurance purchase decisions. That's, okay. And then maximizing transparency, post prices on the wall, requiring healthcare providers and insurers who accept either Medicaid or Medicare to publicly and prominently post their prices and fees to avoid surprise medical bills. They want you to have a menu. Good, I guess, because you go in a doctor's office, you have no idea what anything is going to cost until you get the freaking bill. And I think one of our biggest problems is we don't shop around. It's one of the only things that we purchase that nobody ever shops around. Is not even the insurance, it's the healthcare, which hospital is cheapest, all the other stuff.
I think because everyone just figures they're getting bent over anyways.
Yeah, it's and a lot of times you're in situations where it's not convenient to shop around and go to different hospitals and stuff like that. But if you're going to get a knee surgery,
if you have insurance, then you're also not shopping around.
And I think at this point, I don't know how much good it would do you because everything's so controlled by the insurance companies. I mean, you can go to 3 different doctors. I bet if they're all in the same network, the price is going to be the same.
Yeah.
They make deals. That's what they give you. Oh, it would have cost you this, but we've made a deal with the insurance companies to only charge you this, so you only owe us that. It's like, oh, thanks.
Right.
Appreciate you. You're doing such a great job. Again, this is, I don't see get rid of advertising on, but I don't know if that would really be part of the healthcare plan.
That would have to go through no, that can't be part of the healthcare plan. Getting rid of that would have to go to the Supreme Court, the advertising on the U.S., because that's a free speech thing. I think that's one of the reasons that it initially started.
What were they talking about? Somewhere I was listening to that maybe one of the ways is to require all side effects to be put into the ad, and then it would make the ads. There's probably no agenda. It would make the ads too long and too expensive.
Right.
I bet they find a way around that, but that's a good start.
Yeah, start. Of course.
So check out President's healthcare plan. It's simple.
Probably, why can't they just advertise like stuff that you can buy over the counter? I mean, why are you advertising things that your doctor makes a choice?
Because
you know what I mean?
Without that ad, you'd never know about it because there's not even any shelf. You can't even put a sign. You know what I mean? It's not like it's on a shelf. You can see it.
But why do I need to know about it?
Oh yeah,
I go to the doctor. The doctor needs to know about it. No, but the doctor needs to know about it.
No, what they need to do is give you this obscure drug.
I get it. I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying from reality. In reality, do I really need to know?
No.
Any of these drugs?
Only the hypochondriacs do.
Yeah, no. I guess
it's making a lot of people kind of like that. It's.
I have one of those symptoms. I need this.
I don't know if it's even that good. I think it's, hey, what's this drug? Can I use it? Would it be good for me? Is kind of what you're getting now. It's like, say it so and so drug name. Can I use it? You think it'd help me? Like, no.
Yeah, I don't know anybody like that, but I'm sure there are people.
I'm sure there are. I've heard that's hearsay, but so check it out. We'll be in the blog. Next on our fantastic list of stories is this one, which is Ohio Lucas County Commissioner.
This doofus.
Lucas County Commissioner Pete Gurken, right? Would that be Gurken? I'm horrible at names.
Good enough. He doesn't deserve
Pete Douchebag, we'll call him, has not responded to questions from Ohio Press Network about his comments labeling the Department of U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the Border Patrol terrorist groups. What a good idea, you douche. Here's his quote. On X, this was shared on X by Representative Josh Williams. Lucas County Commissioner says, I think DHS, ICE, and Border Patrol have gone from legitimate, in the past, law enforcement agency to a terrorist group. He said this during a meeting as it was captured on a video clip. So recently, Lucas County commissioners voted 2-1 on January 13th to reject the Department of Homeland Security's Operation Stone Guard grant. So what they turned down was $70,000 intended to increase patrols in the Jerusalem Township along Lake Erie, because it's the border, the lake's the border with Canada. So they would get these funds, and they turned it down. The board had unanimously approved the funding in December, but douchebag and Commissioner sub-douchebag Lopez reversed course, citing concerns over federal immigration agencies. So ICE is too mean. We don't like mean ICE or mean DHS. We only like really nice DHS. Yeah. And we're gonna screw our citizens by turning down free money to help secure them. That's what I got.
Everybody in Toledo should be writing this guy and telling him to get the hell out, to resign.
Yeah, Northern Ohio is pretty important in border protection. There's a lot of shenanigans that go along, a lot of BS. There's a lot of child trafficking. So apparently he doesn't. Let me put my nose ring in for a second. I guess they don't like. They don't want to fight child trafficking if he turned down the $70,000. Got my nose ring. That was me imitating somebody who I doubt that's why, but I'm sure he does care about children, maybe in ways that we don't want to know about. But tearing down $70,000 on a border state is pretty stupid, in my opinion. So they want to, let's see, I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. Republican Josh Williams says this was he called his rhetoric unhinged and said it contributes to increased threats against ICE. I just had a guy. I had a guy talking to a guy, former Vietnam vet. No, he got into service right after Vietnam, I should say. So he's not quite that old. And he kind of compared what's happening with ICE now to what happened to a lot of the vets that came back from Vietnam. And he says they're kind of being treated in the same way. Baby killers, and you're arresting citizens and all this other stuff. Right. And this just adds to it.
Oh yeah, they're stoking the fire, man.
So they'd never change. Yeah, he's a longtime labor activist and progressive leader who has served the commission as commissioner since 2005. He's been in there 20 some years. Has faced other scrutiny. In December, the Ohio Board of Tax Appeals rejected his appeal to lower the valuation of his River Road home in Toledo from $418,000 to $300,000. The decision upheld the Lucas County auditor's assessment amid questions about potential ethical issues given douchebag's position in county government. So he was just in the news not too long ago, trying to convince. You hear the air quotes. Convince the the Commission of Taxation in the area to lower his valuation of his house by $118,000.
What about your neighbors?
Douchebag. Highlights his background in social justice. Well, that's a red flag if you ever heard one. Including anti-Vietnam War activism. Wow, I didn't even plan that. I did not even plan that. He's a union leadership with United Auto Workers and progressive policies like Ohio's first domestic partnership. Well, never mind. I'm done reading about this guy. So check out the article on the Windsor Report, and if you're in the Toledo area, send him a note, a handwritten note, maybe even. They don't get many of those nowadays. I got one of those the other day for a thank you. Christmas thank you card. It was handwritten.
Oh, that's nice.
Mailed with a stamp. Pretty cool. And we're at that part of the show. So let's tell us what you think about Commissioner Douchebag and send us an email. Check out our website, crookedrivercast.com. Send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. You can check us out on X. If you dare, find me. Find me on X and send me a message. And I appreciate you listening to the show. Check out the blog. Every Monday morning when it comes out, when the show drops, the blog is there and you could follow along and check out a lot of our clips, articles. If we missed anything, shoot us a note. Check it out. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening. And on we go. You know, I was thinking the other day when listening about this salt shortage, if we only had a reliable source for road salt around here. Anybody know where we can get some road salt? So apparently there's a road salt shortage, and cities are having to like borrow from Peter to pay Paul and borrow this 150 tons here and 200 tons there. And as we've noticed, there's a list of all these, we got Avon Lake, Elyria, Lakewood, Middleburg Heights or Newburgh Heights, Strongsville, Twinsburg, a whole bunch of them. They're all got a huge salt shortage. But when they called Cargill said, yeah, you got to wait. My feeling is they just didn't order enough.
Yeah.
And most people, because they're,
we've been having later winters,
yes.
So they probably just mismanaged that.
Yes.
And I don't understand why they don't always just have more. Is it, I mean, okay, financially, I get it, but why don't you have like an oversupply?
As far as I understand, salt actually, if you leave it over summer, it evaporates.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it from the
moisture
humidity and everything. Yeah.
The moisture in the air. Because if you put salt dissolves, it actually, from what I understand, when you look at those salt domes, they're shaped that way for a reason. It's because it's the most efficient, like least amount of evaporation or whatever it does.
It keeps less air.
Yeah. But you will lose a bunch of it over what the percentage is. I have no idea. That may be one of the reasons that they don't have a large amount. But I think if you're starting out in the winter, I mean, you buy a bunch of it because I just think they got caught off. I think, you're looking at where can I save $1 if I have to buy two less trucks of salt for my city and save $10,000, whatever it is. You're going to save $10,000 because in the last years we've been canceling salt later in the years, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And then with, I think a little bit heavier winter, especially in places farther south than us over the last couple months, maybe.
Okay.
So Cargill's a little bit backed up.
I get it, but couldn't you have it on like, it's the wrong word, but I'm going to use the word retainer. Can't you like purchase it, but not have it? Like physically have it? Couldn't you pre-purchase it?
Maybe.
And just say, hey, we have it. This is ours. So you can't sell this to anybody else. I
don't know how. It depends on how Cargill works. I don't know if they have just a amount of stuff sitting there. What they probably do, I would think, maybe they say, okay, on this date, give us 2 trucks. 6 weeks later, bring us 2 more trucks. Maybe they buy. They give them as kind of a schedule, kind of what the normal usage is. Pure guess on my part. This is really how I would do it. But
why can't they just buy the Farmer's Almanac and figure out what the winter is going to be like?
They were saying we were going to have a heavier moisture or precipitation-wise, a heavier winter than normal. So
see,
yeah. So then when and this is giving them a huge benefit of the doubt that they're actually thinking this far ahead. But this is how I would do it. So it's probably not how they do it. But then when you start running short and you call Cargill and say, hey, can you move that up already? They can't. Because they've got other people that have already, first come, first serve kind of thing. There's, I guess, giving a large benefit of the doubt because they really should. You should have. I mean, Tom, they're smart enough to carry 40 or 50% of their school budget to the next year. you can't carry a little extra salt. Oh, that was a good one.
Or maybe offer a little something to Cargill to put you. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's it's the city's salt mine. Like, offer them something just a little bit, so we're basically number one. You know.
Well, I got a clip from Channel 5, and it might lead us into some of the other reasons other than poor planning. And I just want to.
I think it all boils down to poor planning.
Yeah. And usually there's, they'll say in this clip, well, I think we've had an unusually heavy winter this year over the past years. Well, yeah, like to your point, when you only look 3 or 4 years back, yeah. But if you look back 20 years, I don't think it's not unusually heavy.
No. I mean,
it seems heavier because we've had lighter winters over the past 5-10 years. That's fine.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things in there that they point out that Cargill is saying is a problem, and one of them I'd like to dig a little bit into, pun intended, but also like to point out the worst pun delivery of the year so far. It may hold throughout the whole year, but you got to put something. Yeah, you got to put some feeling into it, woman. There you go. Here's Channel 5 on the salt shortage.
In many cases, it's the side streets that could noticeably suffer. This full-time Lyft driver says she's not salty about it, but tells me it has made navigating the roads difficult.
It was actually harder for me to even maneuver to get out of people's driveways because the roads were just so packed. We haven't had this bad of a winter in years in Cleveland, so that might have been a reason too.
Yeah. One road salt supplier out of New York says along with high demand for the de-icing salt, there are supply chain issues, labor issues, and mine production problems like flooding.
Do you get a lot of calls about residential streets, people up?
So here's the plow guy from, I think, University Heights or something like that. Yeah, he's funny.
Sad or?
You will, yeah.
Good complaints.
Nothing you can do.
Snowplow drivers just asking one thing of their customers. Don't get frosty, but instead...
be patient. That's all you can do.
Reporting in University Heights and Cleveland Heights, Michelle Nix, 19 News.
If there's flooding in the salt mine that's under the lake, do you think we could have a story about that? Like, can you expand a little bit on the flooding on the mine under the lake, please? What the hell are they talking about? Are they digging too far upwards? Is that the problem?
I think they're a mile underneath, aren't they?
I know. I'm sure it's not because of that. Oh, I know it's not because of that, because the mine wouldn't be there anymore. But it was funny that they got flooding on the mine under the lake and labor issues. So Cargill can't get out enough like they normally can. Cities are poor planned, and there's flooding apparently in the wintertime. Okay. All these questions I have.
I heard about those third shift Cargill guys. They're in the mine sleeping instead of drilling. So maybe they need a little supervision down there.
That is a nasty place down there here.
Oh, it is. I'm sure it is. But
amazing, but also
I think those third shifters kind of take advantage of supervision.
Do they have 3 shifts? I hope so.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah,
they used to.
Yeah, 30 years ago. I'm sure they still do.
So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to start salting intersections and limiting salting to the main roads, and I think we'll be okay. I guess it depends on how much ice we get in the next storm. And as you listen to this, you'll be finding out because it'll be hitting us probably about the time this show drops. All right. What else? You got anything else about salt shortage? Or you're not salty on that? I see.
You're going to do it too.
Could you at least? Yes, because only because of the horrible delivery on those puns. Like, could you at least put a little bit into it? I guess.
I don't know why our local news I think it's every station has to put puns in, and they're awful.
They're awful,
and the delivery is awful too. Yeah,
that's what I mean. An awful pun is expected. Like, puns are usually awful, right?
Yeah,
but she just said it like it wasn't a pun.
But if you make it funny, it's okay. But
yes, and if you like that's what I'm saying. She said it so straight that I wonder if she knew it was a pun.
I don't know what she looks like, but she sounded like she was 80, so that might be your clue to why.
I'm trying to wonder if that was Channel 3.
I don't know which,
Channel
because
5.
it wasn't the article you had pulled.
It wasn't. You're right, because then I had a clip. Here it goes. That was Channel. Oh, it's probably in my clip.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's Channel 19. I want to give them the credit because it wasn't our channel. Yeah, I know who that is too. And yeah, she's not 80.
Oh, okay.
She is low IQ, I think. Anyway, we are going to move on and check. We're going to do a little peek in to see what our critters are down in Columbus. Right now, what we've got on the agenda for today. Oh, yes. Can you say election holiday, Tom? Is this a bunch of BS or what? I first saw this and went, oh, I've talked about like, making it easier for people to get to the polls and to vote and all this other stuff. And as I started looking into this and listening to the report, it's Morgan Trow, and I'm thinking no. Let's just hit the clip rate and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Democracy works better when we all participate.
Which is why voting rights advocate Catherine Terser says it is so important that every vote counts.
We can all participate if we don't have good access.
Research from Tufts University found that of people who didn't vote in the 2024 presidential, about 25% said they had conflicting work or school schedules.
Did they?
If elected officials in Ohio really respect voters, we should respect them enough to allow them to get to the ballot on Election Day.
Euclid Democrat Ken Smith has proposed a solution. Make Election Day a state holiday.
Yes, on Election Day. But you say 25% of the people say work or school prevents them from going to the polls. So in the 4 weeks leading up to the election in Ohio, you can vote. Isn't it 4 weeks? 3 to 4 weeks, right? It's like a month.
28 days or something.
28 days. So in all that time, you couldn't find an hour. So instead, you need to make it a holiday. And I think the point of some of this is they would like to make it a paid holiday, a state-mandated paid holiday.
Yeah, that won't happen.
It's not going to happen. This bill isn't going anywhere because it's ridiculous. I like I said, when I see the article, the headline, I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea. Actually, it is, because here's my point: we can do this.
If the feds did it, it wouldn't bother me. For a national vote like the presidential election.
Yes,
I wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, maybe once every 4 years. But local, general elections, like, why do you need a day off for that?
Why do you need a day off when you've got 28 days before then?
And plus you got mail-in voting
and you got mail-in voting. So okay, you want to have a holiday, fine. And they even say this in report. One of the things they worry about is if they pass this holiday, the Republicans are going to use it to force only in-person voting on Election Day. And I say to that, hell yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
But I think so in the report, if you listen to it, Morgan says, well, but just past this year, the evil GOP says that they don't want they've made it harder for you to vote because they took away the 4-day grace period. Because the 4 weeks beforehand that you had to send your ballot in shouldn't matter. But and sending it 4 days ahead of time is harder.
Democrats being Democrats.
So they're talking about, well, we had to have access.
It's
you got mail-in ballots. You got 4 weeks to freaking vote. 4 weeks to vote. You've got plenty of freaking access. Okay, shut it. And they go on. 14 states have Election Day holidays, and there's even states that do mandate paid holidays.
Right.
And other than that, this really.
You know what? I would like to see the list of those states.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead. Keep going.
I would bet you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. So Tercer has said we should think about ensuring that we have better access to a diversity of ways to vote. Okay, so you got mail-in, you got 4 weeks beforehand, and you have the day of. How much more do you want? Do you think? How about online voting? Is that next? Oh my gosh, what a nightmare that would be. And they are, let's see here, Secretary of State. It doesn't really say much about Secretary of State. Yeah, voting should be engaged, rewarding experience, celebrating our democracy and citizenship. I don't think this is going anywhere. Did you find anything?
Yeah, I tried Google. I couldn't. There was too many articles to go through, and then I'm going to try Grok here.
I'm thinking in-person voting. This is the quote from spokesperson to Sprague, spokesperson Dalton. And he says, in-person voting on election day, where IDs are checked and eligibility is easily verified, is the most secure form of voting. And it should be both a federal and state holiday. At the same time, we should look closely at no-fault absentee voting, as voting by mail is significantly more vulnerable to fraud, chain of custody lapses, and postal errors. How about we just show up on the day? You could really simplify this. And just show up on the day and put your vote in like we used to do. And if it's really important to you, you'll get there. It's really important to you. You'll find a way to get there. All right, that's about all stalling I got, Tom.
Well, I found there's 11 states that have made it a public or civic holiday, but they don't mandate the paid, the day off, which is Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, Montana, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Virginia, and West Virginia. And then I typed in which ones mandate a day off.
Yeah.
That's Illinois and New York.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Those are the only two, though, where they mandate, it doesn't say you don't get the day off, but if you leave for a couple hours to go vote, you get paid.
Yeah. And in Ohio, your employer has to give you time to vote. It doesn't have to.
I think most states do, but we declared it a public and civic holiday. No employer can say, fire you for coming in late because you went to vote.
Yeah, it's conveniently used for a lot of people to be late on election day.
Yeah.
The smart ones, at least.
Well, I try to go in the morning.
Yeah,
as you go first
thing in the morning. Yeah, so I don't know. 25% say they're conflicted from school and work. That's my biggest point, and that's BS because you got plenty of time to vote. So shut it. All right, that's Election Day holiday BS. Next is Ohio GOP. Some of the GOP in Ohio apparently are putting in some bills in legislature to put stricter standards for daycare fraud or publicly funded daycares, and there's some pushback. And so this person from owner of My Kids Child Daycare says, I feel like an isolated situation has put a spotlight in a negative way on child care centers, and now it's questioning our integrity. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry it's making your day a little harder. I don't know if you've noticed or heard, but hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing out of Ohio of taxpayer money into Minnesota and then going somewhere else in the world. So I'm sorry it's making your day a little harder, but we need to check this crap. Basically, check out this article because Morgan is at her best talking about Nick Shirley and these unsubstantiated claims, apparently. That's claims with no proof is what she says. And there's a little bit of back and forth with her and Rep. Williams He is, I forget where he's from. So he's pointing out that Williams is saying, oh, well, look, I think he might try to pull a fast one. Williams is saying, look, we're proven right because after this was all brought to light, we've got 12 daycares that are under investigation. And Morgan was like, well, those are actually already under investigation. And to her point, may be true, but you think there's only 12? If there's 12, there's probably more.
Yeah.
And the fact that they just don't believe that any of this is true. Like, oh, there's unsubstantiated claims. Have you looked into them, Morgan? Have you tried to maybe substantiate some of the claims?
Well, that wouldn't be the activist thing to do.
Right. So, I mean, so they want to put in what but I think like I'm all for maybe a little bit more oversight, but I think it goes a little too far. They want to put cameras in daycares in almost all rooms in daycares except bathrooms. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's a selling point for me.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think we could find a middle ground on this. We don't need cameras.
Can the parents log in?
Yep. That's up for, it just introduced. So details are probably, does not say, well, that's the thing. They're kind of, just some of the proponents are saying, it's kind of, a little creepy depending on who has access to it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Does the parent get a password? Like, I don't know. I'd have to know more about it.
And if they do get a password, does that make it any better or worse?
What do you mean?
Well, just because you give parents password doesn't make it less creepy. Some of those parents are creepy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. They can. Yeah, that's true.
But that doesn't solve the problem for me. I think you put a camera at the front door, in the lobby, something to that effect, to see who's going in and out. But
yeah, when I saw this at first, that's what I thought they wanted. I was like, well, that's not so bad. At the counter or something, you just see people actually there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in every room, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah.
Yep. Just check and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah. That's basically it. I think the biggest pushback is the cameras part. And then, kind of like, what do we need? And DeWine's like, fraud's good. We're good. And then we just, listened to that clip last week from John Solomon saying that they've got evidence of $130 million going from Columbus to Minnesota, to Minneapolis, and then flying out of the country. Like, is that just the cost of doing business, Mr. DeWine? I get it. You're trying to cover your ass, but I think most of us would understand there's probably going to be some fraud, no matter how much you try to clamp down on it. Some gets through. It always does. But to come out and say, it's a cost of doing business. Yeah. Hundreds of millions of dollars just get sucked out of the system. So there's that. Check that out. Let us know. What you think about that. What do you think about cameras in daycares? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. Next on our list is everybody's favorite subject: abortion care. Everybody's favorite. No, not really.
Healthcare.
I'm sorry, it's healthcare. It's not ending health care. It's healthcare. We got a couple articles here. One from Scene, which basically goes through the fight that's going on right now in the Ohio legislature between the Democrats and Republicans. Basically, they passed the amendment codifying legal abortion in Ohio, which every time I say it just makes me want to move. And that the fight that the GOP has been doing, they're trying to put limits on it. They're trying to just do what they can to at least prevent as much as possible. One of them is Senator Husted, which he's pushing for legislation to put more restrictions on the abortion pill, the morning after pill, I think it is.
Right.
So the Scene article is pretty interesting because where'd it go? What I'm looking at is counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Currently, in this article alone, it states 6 different abortion bills in the state legislature.
I think most of them are pro-life, and there's, I think, one that's pro-abortion.
So Democrats introduced House Bill 128 in February, further drive home the amendment, including attempting to repeal laws that don't align with it. Republicans then introduced House Bill 370, called the Personhood Bill, because it attempts to apply 14th Amendment rights to preborn persons. It puts in quotes.
That this is something that they're hoping the Supreme Court will get. So they're pushing it here too.
So yes, and what was it? Democrats also put in bill. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, Dublin Representative
OBGYN
Anita Samani. I think I got that right.
Guilty.
Yeah. She put in Bill 245, House Bill 245, pushing forward the attempts to further change language in state law with another bill, which is 245. And I can't figure out how they get to thousands of bills every year. House Bill 410 has 3 hearings in the House Medicaid Committee since being sent there in September. Doesn't really expand on what Bill 410 is, but I think that's going to take away Medicaid funding for abortions. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. And signing language is one beautiful bill about abortions. And then we got Ohio Senate has Bill 309, Senate Healthcare Committee in October, a bill that would require doctors to provide patients with a written statement to sign on the risks of abortion services expected in a medical emergency, except in a medical emergency. Next one is House Bill 347, referring to House Bill Committee in June. Oh my goodness. So check out what all these are, because I just lost half the audience. And there's a ton of them. So Houston wants to do a little different. He wants to put in some restrictions on the morning after pill, for lack of a better long medical name. And my question on this is, if there were any other drug, if it were drug for any other purpose, it would not be allowed by mail, as far as I could see. Like, the drugs allowed by mail are pretty.
You can get anything by mail.
You can't get pain pills by mail.
Pain pills you can't. No.
You're not going to get, let's say, chemotherapy by mail.
No.
And that a lot of times it is a pill.
Okay. Yeah.
So why would you be able to kill your baby with a pill by the mail?
Good point.
Seems very lined up with it's an extreme, whether you like it or not. You could be all for it, but if you can't, so I think it's.
I agree. It makes it a little too easy, or I think I'm not going to argue the abortion topic,
right?
But if you're going to have it, if it's going to be legal, then it should be uncomfortable. It should be an uncomfortable choice. So
yes,
getting it through the mail is kind of defeats that purpose.
So Husted's got a little. He's got an interesting, I guess, perspective.
Yeah.
Because here's his quote. I started out in foster care, was adopted, and know that my birth mother was under a lot of pressure to have an abortion. And thankfully for me, she didn't. Republican senator says, I know that my biological father had pressured her to do so, and she chose an adoption. And what he's saying, he's not sure what the outcome would have been if it would have been that easy. And he goes, I would like to think that my mother would have still chosen to have an adoption. But I've seen, this is some sick, twisted crap here. but I've seen some of the horrors of men who are trying to use the drug to end pregnancies against the will of the mom that they give the drug to. So he's saying he's seen cases of guys slipping the pill to the chick that got pregnant.
Right.
Which is, holy cow, I think so many levels of hell you belong.
I think a doctor in Cincinnati did it to his girlfriend or something.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still going. The case is still happening. Oh, Toledo. Hassan James Abbas. Guilty.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless on that. That's, I forgot about that. And just more than I think about that, it's good Lord. Yeah, there's a special place in hell for people like you. But here again, here's this pill that can do this, I mean, pretty significant thing like end a life. Probably should be, you probably need to see somebody in person to get it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get passed or not, but.
Well, I think no, it should. I think it will because we have the super majority here.
Yeah, there's some squeaky Republicans though, and there's DeWine.
That's an understatement. Well, yeah. DeWine can veto it if there's a strong support. They can override it.
That's what I would worry about. I think they'd have enough to pass it. Would they have enough to secure a veto? I don't know. With this, I don't think DeWine would veto this. I really don't. A good point. He may not,
because you're not really you're not like banning abortion. You're not really. You're just making it a little.
Yeah.
A little bit more difficult, which it should be.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to argue it should be harder because I'm going to argue it should be impossible to most. But, I get what you're saying. You're right. At least, can we get this win? Can we at least try to eliminate guys giving a unwanted abortion to their girlfriend? Can we at least do that, can't we? And Houston's pushing forward with that. And I'm not a huge fan of Husted, but in this case, I think he's on the right track.
Yeah.
Next on the list, we talked about this in our year-end show. Is one of the things that I thought was going to be a bigger story this year, and I'm making my own prophecy come to light by picking these stories. So there you go. No, but there's a couple stories. One of them I think I saved from this may have been before the new year, but. More and more cities are getting drones.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And a couple of stories, Stark County, we had talked about like why, like what's the advantage? And, this story from Stark County from Channel 3 goes into it as far as, what they're using it for, what this, in this case, what happened. Car crash. Some guy hits another truck, plows into him, does a bunch of damage, totals his car, gets out of his car and runs. They call the cops, call 911, and the first thing they did was dispatch a drone. And they've got video. Go check it out. They got video of, I think it's in this because I got this story and a YouTube clip from Channel 19. But in one case, the drone's overhead with infrared. The guy's in the woods, and the patrol car is driving right past him because you can't see him. He's in the woods. And these are the kind of things that they're using to push the drone technology, which I get it. I mean, yeah, seems like a good use to it, but to what extent?
Where does it go from here? That's what I want.
Right. My question was when I'm reading these articles, listening to this stuff is how long before we get tasers on drones, non-lethal.
No, those are going to be on the robot dogs. No, the fun. I don't know if you caught it, but the funniest thing about this guy who hit a truck and ran into the woods, and the drones found him, right?
Yeah.
And basically, all they got him. They would have found him because they just called the plate number, right? They would have found him. He has to go home. He's got registered plates and all that. The funniest thing about this, he's had a warrant for his arrest since in the 90s.
Yes, I saw that. 1991, I thought. What was
something like that, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, what? Really? You needed a drone and you're happy you got a guy who had a warrant for his arrest since 1991. You could have just driven to his house. The guy's registered he's got a driver's license. He's registered his car. I mean, come on. It was a dumb presentation of this thing.
Good point, actually. They could have.
Yeah, and they got, you know what? That drone just made him a couple of grand because all he did was get a DUI or OVI, whatever they call it. And,
he's on like 4 or 5 charges now.
Yeah, he's got enough charges, but it's like
I made him a few grand at least.
I think he ran. He panicked. He ran because he didn't want to get a DUI, and they could have easily found him the next day.
You don't see any good.
No. This was good because I just think this. Who knows? He could have hit a family in their minivan or something.
Right, to your point is good. Like, why haven't they caught this guy in the past 35 years? But nonviolent warrant. How much do they go after, that kind of stuff? But as far as drones in general, what do you feel there's any upside to them?
Yeah. I just don't.
You can see how they can.
No, when we talked about it last, I was fascinated by the story that somebody. What was it? They were holding people hostage. And the drone went into the building, which I was like, oh, that's interesting there.
Yes, that was one of the things I pulled up the notes.
Yeah.
They even have inside drones.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. I mean, I think there's good things, but where does it, when does it become overreach?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the story we have, there's a Channel 3 story, WKYC article, and then I have in the notes will be also a YouTube from Channel 19 YouTube clip. And this is about Akron, and I think this is one I've had for a minute. But here's the drone story I have. Now I got to find my clip. What did I do? Is it? Oh, it's right here.
Akron police hope to roll out at least 3 docks for the next step in their Drones as First Responder program this year. They tell me they already have the FAA waivers in place, and they're looking for grants to help fund this. Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
Grants? They need cash.
6 law enforcement agencies in Ohio use Skydio drones, including Cleveland Police. CPD tells us they have 9 Skydio drones and 7 pilots with their FAA certification. They are considering getting these docks in the future. Cincinnati Police right now, the only agency in Ohio using the dock-based drones right now, according to Skydio.
So many police agencies using drones have set up what they are calling transparency dashboards, where they can post all of their flight information so the community can see where they are actually flying these drones and why they are flying the drones. Cleveland Police has one. Akron Police do not, but they say they have plans to get one in very soon. We have a link to CPD's transparency dashboard on cleveland19.com.
Forgot I left that in there. There's that's kind of the story on this Channel 3. Are these docks, or is it my video clip? Whatever, same thing. The new thing now is they've introduced drones into some cities, and now they want drone docks so they can put remote docking stations around the city.
Like when we talked about this at first, how I wasn't really for it, right? I was kind of pushing back on it.
Yeah.
And this is probably the reason the thing I was scared of most was a lot of wasted cash. I think they're just going to go overboard with it.
I could see that, especially if they're getting federal funding and grants. I think this could have easily been part of this. Could have been seen as a native ad because they notice it there. Dude, we need some grants.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give us some cash? We'll take it. But you could make an argument, I think, that it could save money if they do it correctly, which of course they never do. But you could, instead of sending, it's probably cheaper to have 2 or 3 guys in an office running a few drones than it is to send out a squad car in a lot of situations. A lot of times you could send a drone to take some video footage and And I think you utilize your services or utilize your resources better. You know, you could send exactly who you need to an accident instead of sending everybody.
Yeah, I think we just have to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, and then that's kind of why I left that second part in. Sorry,
because I'm like, do we really need 7 pilots at this moment? You know, I don't know. And adding more, it's just bizarre to me.
And to your point, adding more to departments that are already strapped for cash.
Well, they're
always complaining about not having enough cash, and they're spending money on drones.
Is this okay, you're going to make some things more efficient, but in the end, might it not be better to have a couple extra officers on the streets?
Yep, that's a good point.
You know, I mean, we in Cleveland, at least, and I would think most urban metros, are lacking in police force.
I could see that, and I have heard them make the argument you could cover a lot more ground with one officer and 2 drones than you can. So I could see there is a balance, like you said. I'm not, trying to be argumentative, kind of, but I could see them say, well, we could save money by doing this. The point is, I think your point is, let's do baby stuff. They just want to dump all this money in it before they really know.
Yeah, okay.
What
I'm good with that.
Is that what you're saying? Like, let's make sure we do this right and not just buy 50 drones and then 2-3 years from now we're not using any of them.
Not using them, or how are you using them? We have to keep an eye on how they're going to use them.
Yeah, and that's the way I left.
Are they going to be flying over my backyard to make sure I'm not, building a little shed or something? Where does it end?
So in this report, the representative from this company, because what they're saying in this clip is 9 cities are using this company's drones and their technology. And then they want to expand with docks. It's Cleveland, it's Akron, it's the major cities. I don't know. It doesn't sound like Columbus, but maybe.
And the other thing is, drones don't have a presence. When you have more cops, there's a presence in it, which will deter more crime. This is kind of cool. I kind of like the idea of sending out a drone to a crime scene or an accident scene,
like a fight or
something
like that.
Well, yeah, a riot.
In the meantime, as the cops are on their way there, you could send a drone quicker, especially with these docks. Get some video footage, maybe catch a few more people because they're going to run away before.
Well, there's that. I mean, just to get an idea of what's going on, then you can assess it more accurately and send the troops in
proper amount of resources. Yeah,
right. So
which could save money. Yeah,
which is great. That indoor thing where hostage thing, that was kind of cool.
Yes, I could see where it could come in handy again.
But spending your resources for this rather than adding officers, I don't know.
It's not a replacement. It's to augment physical human officers, not to replace them. I think that's maybe where we're getting at.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's kind of one of the things. I kind of they mentioned they've already got the FAA clearance for these drones. Can I get FAA clearance to protect my land with a drone, or is it just the cops?
You don't really need it. Depends on how or where you're flying it. If you're protecting your property, you don't, unless you're in the city within a certain. I think you have to be. When I got my drone, I kind of looked at that. There's just restrictions on like where you are.
And the size,
to the airport, things like that, and how high it can go and stuff.
Right.
You're supposed to get one, regardless. But you're flying it over your. Let's say you have like if I had 20 acres, I would want a drone just to, so I don't have to.
I would like to be able to fly my drone wherever the cops fly their drones.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Right. So that's where I have a problem with it because I would like to have a drone to watch the cops' drones. How's that? To me, it's similar to a gun. I mean,
are the drones patrolling or are the drones reacting to a scene?
So that's where I was going. I think I went off track. But the representative from the company that they mentioned later in the clip says most departments, most departments are using this as when people call them for something is when they send it's not, they're not sending it for surveillance, they're sending it for a citizen request of something going on.
Well, the word that scared me the most there was most.
Most, yes. So that's a lot of where they're using them, and in situations, like you said, someone's hiding. I mean, the infrared stuff's pretty cool. If someone's hiding, you got easily find them. It makes sense. It just, to me, it's similar to firearms. The point of the Second Amendment is that we have this, we have similar weapons than a tyrannical government would have. So why?
Well, I don't consider them weapons.
No, I know, but I mean, why should they be able to do this kind of stuff without? If they can get FAA clearance, I should be able to get FAA clearance, I guess.
If you took the FAA, if you got your license, I think you would get your clearance.
Would I get the same clearance that cops do?
Oh, you probably wouldn't. You still probably wouldn't be able to fly it over the airport, near the airport and stuff like that.
That I get.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's even. That's why I guess even. Like citizens can watch over the cops as much as humanly possible. Obviously, I'm not going to fly my drone around the airport. That would be highly stupid. I don't want anybody to do it when I'm on the plane. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think you could pretty much fly it almost anywhere. I mean, I guess a
lot of national parks, they don't allow you to do it. I've heard there's some restrictions for certain reasons. I mean, like I think let's say Old Faithful, they probably don't want you to put a drone over the top of it. So
they probably don't. Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah,
you could probably do it if you got permission from the park. Like, hey, I'm doing a documentary or something like that. But yeah, they don't want a bunch of yahoos out there.
Yeah, and if you're
let me see what happens when it goes right through the gusher.
Right. Not only that, but think about this though. Here you are at National Park. It's beautiful.
I can't imagine how many clicks I'll get on this.
How many drones would be in the air if you're allowed to go to the Smoky Mountains to a scenic spot? And I think that's where you get a lot of, because you could have 4 drones going. Zzz,
it's annoying.
Target practice. So I don't know. Technology is good. Again, it's just like anything else. We have to be more vigilant. And they had this dashboard. I just want to make sure I get to that. Everybody go on the link. It's links in the article. Check out the dashboard. See what because they're going to supposedly be transparent and tell you why, where, and when they're using drones. So that's at least something there. I kind of like it. Moving on to this next story, which is kind of tied in the same thing. And the reason I kind of keeping it in there is how fast we forget. It'll just go right into this clip here. This is from Channel 5. This is about Willoughby Hills photo enforcement program shows dramatic reduction in speed. Reduction in speeding. And a couple questions I had after I play it.
Willoughby Hills Police started the photo enforcement program in January of 2024. Now, 2 years later, they have statistics. The Willoughby Hills Police Chief told me, according to information from the Ohio Department of Public Safety Traffic Monitoring System, vehicles traveling between 75 and 80 miles per hour decreased by 24%. Speeds between 80 and 85 were reduced by 37%. Drivers moving at 85 to 90 miles per hour declined 36%. And drivers traveling between 95 and 100 miles per hour dropped 26%.
So just having the awareness that cameras are there are making people drive safer. So, I mean, I support that.
Not too familiar with it, to be honest. But yeah, I guess I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it.
Not a fan.
So if I told you that speeds have dropped significantly after 2 years up on the highway, what would you think?
That certainly sounds like it'd be a good thing.
Now he's
in terms of monitoring and compliance, I'm okay if there's, a pattern of offenses in a certain area. But when it comes down to making sure that there's governance and proper use, that's my real concern.
Yep.
So what if I told you it's been 2 years and rates have dropped by like 25% of people speeding on the highway?
That's amazing. That's great for safety and good for us all.
Chief Matt Nagley told me the tickets grossed about $10 million, money earmarked for the city's Safety Forces Fund.
So as, things come up, capital needs come up, equipment needs, training needs for police, fire, and roads, the city has the ability to use those funds for that.
Yeah, they have the ability, do they?
So question comes in my head, a couple. How does the Ohio Department of Transportation get those stats? How do they know how fast people are going through Willoughby? What system do they have? I don't, and it was never explained. It doesn't say. They just they have told Willoughby Hills that they have a high risk or high speed area. But how do they find this out? Like what?
Well, I would think that the cameras are getting less of the speeders.
What do you mean?
There's less tickets being given out.
But how do? So they had reached out to Willoughby Hills and told them that you guys have an excessive high amount of speeders going through. This is like 90 and 271.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back and later in the art, which we heard, they said the Ohio Department of Transportation's traffic monitoring system has stated that 25% less than this and 28% less than that.
Oh,
what system is
that? I see
that?
what you're saying. Yeah.
How do they know this? And so they're watching all of us all the time and monitoring our speeds.
Yes.
And I know there's cameras, but there's also, and a lot of people, they've got sensors all over the roads nowadays. They can see like road conditions as far as the temperature of the roads, whether it's going to be iced over, that kind of stuff. So they put all kinds of stuff in the roads that nobody knows about. That's kind of what I said. Well, how do they know all this? Second, $10 million in 2 years in traffic tickets. $10 million in 2 years.
Not tickets, taxes.
Yes. Speeding penalties, speeding taxes. So what's the operating budget for Willoughby Hills? As far as I can tell, they are about $15 million a year in budget and proposed expenditures.
What are they doing with this?
So in the past 2 years, they've collected $10 million, a third of the yearly budget. Well, no, 2/3 of their yearly budget in 2 years. The operating budget for safety forces and streets, it says the combined safety and street funds are projected to be in expenditures of over $7 million. Their general fund is $8 million, and they have they have projected unclaimed balances for the general fund is estimated at $4 million of January 1st, 2025. $10 million. Holy cow. No wonder why they're doing it. It's nothing to do with safety, folks.
No, they don't care about that.
Nothing to do with safety. And how, let's just throw this out there. Those who would trade liberty for safety deserve neither. And you listen to two people in that clip say, well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. This doesn't seem very good. But it's reduced speeders. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they're also clipping it too. Because I would have been, that's good too, I guess. But what are they doing with the money?
Well, they may have clipped it afterwards, yeah. But
you know what I mean? You don't know what they said, so they're. It's like the newscast is trying to sell it also.
So, and that's kind of ties into the whole drone thing for me. This is a cop sitting in a car. We've talked about this 77 and 77, I-77 in Cleveland and Fleet has Newburgh Heights. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's Newburgh. Yeah,
similar deal. This is a guy in a car in Willoughby Hills. Newburgh Heights. He's actually standing on the ramp to Fleet and shooting down 77.
Right.
He's got a camera and a laptop.
He's also been on the overpass there too.
Oh yeah, that goes on the other side. Yep.
Yeah.
If you figured out what this is, it is a portable traffic camera.
Yeah.
Speed camera is all it is. He's sitting in his car with a camera, holding it up to his face with, almost like binoculars, hitting a trigger, getting a picture, and then you get a letter in the mail.
Yep.
$10 million, $5 million a year. Wow. That's a third of their operating budget, almost a third of their operating budget yearly just from this one.
I just,
crazy.
I'm always amazed at the guy who does that.
I bet he feels.
It's like, man, I wanted to be a cop all my life, and now you're just taking pictures of cars.
Jeez, Tom, did I just skip by a whole bunch of stories?
What?
Did I just skip past a whole bunch of stories? I did.
You did?
Well, I once again reordered our list of stories not according to the clips. So never mind. We'll keep going. No, I did. Yeah, I did. I skipped past.
You didn't.
Yeah, actually, look at the list. Look at the checklist. Drones in Willoughby Hills is way down the list. I passed.
Oh,
over.
how did that
Because
happen?
the clips are in. Like I have these.
Oh,
stories
you got to
in the
fix
wrong
that,
way.
man. I'm going to get yelled at by their webmaster.
Oh crap! Okay, I'll fix that. Just don't take it before. We'll talk after the show. Okay, so moving on because we got to move on. Drones and Willoughby Hills. We move on to that. Should we just push the other two till next week? We're almost at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll push those next week. We've got we'll do a little expose next week on some of the gubernatorial candidates and some lower offices too. We've got some higher profile people coming up, and I want to talk about Casey Pooch too a little bit more. And I want to give him enough time. So we'll wrap it up on the regular list with the a little follow up for our favorite judge, Judge Celebrezze. Leslie Celebrezze. We talked about her many times on the show. One of our first shows, I think we talked about her and her story. So she's a Cuyahoga County domestic relations judge, is facing charges in a record tampering case, and she's had her law license suspended by Ohio Supreme Court. And what she was doing, apparently, allegedly, I guess she's convicted, so maybe it's not allegedly anymore.
Oh, she hasn't been convicted yet.
Oh, they just
suspended her law license for 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. So allegedly, what they're saying is she in a family court for a divorce court, let's say, or something like that. If you've got an estate with lots of money and going through a divorce, the judge will appoint a third party to oversee the assets while you're going through arbitration, divorce, all that stuff. And she was allegedly picking somebody she knew and giving this person's company a lot of the cases so that he can, obviously get the work. And it's favoritism. And apparently comes out later, allegedly I was having an affair. Seems like that according to the reports. So they kind of found her out. She got charged. I think is she currently on trial?
No, what happened was there's no trial yet. They're in pre-trial.
Okay.
Or it's about to take place. They had it scheduled, and a bunch of judges recused themselves from the case because they all know her.
Oh yeah.
So the Ohio Supreme Court needs to appoint an out of town judge to oversee the case.
Good, I guess that's how the system's supposed to work. Seems.
Yeah.
So they've rejected her law license. I know the one story we talked about is they were trying to extend or strengthen the suspension because it usually gets cut in half or something like that. So
her suspension is 2 years, but it gets if she can go back to being being a lawyer. You get her license back after a year, and that for that year she's basically on parole.
Yeah, for good behavior. She doesn't mess up in a year, they get it back. So originally they were going to give her a year suspension, which would be only 6 months. So.
Right. But she has resigned as judge, so she just probably wants to be a lawyer again, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is how she makes income, but
yeah.
Well, you should have thought about that before you gave your boyfriend a bunch of work.
It makes me wonder about the whole Celebrezze family on how
Yeah, it does.
How corrupt that could be,
It does. So she's out. I guess we'll follow if anything happens with the. It's kind of one of the things that, to me, this is a perfect story of why I wanted to do the show, because no one ever reads this crap. I mean, it's not very exciting, but it is good to at least have some common knowledge of. Oh yeah, so the corrupt judge here, and then and actually for me, it's good to see somebody's actually being punished for their shenanigans.
Yeah.
So, good for my blood pressure, at least. And
accountability,
yes. Does
the one thing we lack in politics, in government.
Life in general.
Yeah. I think
it's getting better.
I think the normal person is accountable, but.
Well, at some point, they're forced to be if they're not, but not in a Not in Columbus or Washington, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm glad I see things happening, but at the same time, are they being really accountable?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the fraud stuff is gonna I think they'll catch it, they'll stop it, and which is great, but I don't think anybody's gonna get busted. Which is a shame.
Yeah. Good old boys club.
Well, good old boys club there, and also even the little guys who are doing the actual fraud, like let's say the healthcare, those Somalis. I don't think they're going to get any type of prison time or anything like that.
Some already have, but I think there are some that were convicted, I guess. But to your point, you're mostly right. I think I think definitely anybody who's turning the blind eye to it probably isn't going to.
At least you're not going to get the money back.
Sure. The money's gone. Money's totally gone.
It's in Somali somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's in Somali and in a whole bunch of Act Blue accounts.
And there you go.
And wrapping that up, let's wrap up the show with a good things segment.
We bring good things to life.
I don't know. I feel like this is it's a stretch at best for good things. Please help us with your good things.
This is actually, it's a good thing, but it's a sad thing too.
It is a sad thing. I didn't know about this. I didn't know there was a Cleveland supper club, but Scene magazine article, as solo dining becomes commonplace, Cleveland supper clubs are bucking the trend. So this article basically goes into, I don't know, kind of how we used to have, there was much more community dinners, much more, neighborhoods getting together, to talk about people
people dating, like actual dating. So like if you're going, a dinner date was kind of normal. Now couples are just hooking up basically online. So they need places to meet people. This is one way, I guess.
Here's the one paragraph. My grandmother had the best. What is that called? Barcoli? Brachol. Gosh, I'm horrible. I sorry, folks. I spent most of the time in English class sleeping. On West 28th Street, everyone knew because everyone was invited on Sundays. Her neighbors, her 5 children, priests, judges, uncles, or Uncle Mario. So on and so on. So that's kind of what, and then, people actually used to go on dates. It's crazy. And this kind of just pushes, there is a, what they're calling a sort of secret supper club. They start out with a darkened church during Halloween is a good place as any to enjoy braised lamb head. That's actually pretty cool for Halloween. This is the sort of secret supper club. The culinary brainchild of Cobar owner, Gerard, go figure out what his name is. Guhind? Man, I'm so bad. I should probably take a class on that.
Looking for his name. I don't see. I see it.
Yeah. Guhde.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, it's keep going, yeah. So he's a partner with venturesome chef to craft 6-course meals prepared and served at his restaurant Midtown, where I lost my place. Oh, Convivium 33 in Midtown. So supper clubs. I don't know, there's a Sante supper club. Check it out if you're interested in it. I think they're getting groups of people together to have dinner, right?
Yeah.
Like strangers.
Basically, you can go have, a dinner. I think they're charging $150. It's not cheap, but so you'll meet 12 new people around a table, and it sounds like, it's expensive, but it sounds like a nice way. If there's singles there, I don't know if they do like specific singles type of dinners. I don't know, but it might be a nice way to meet people.
There's quite a few in here. Check out.
I feel really bad for the younger generation as far as dating goes, because it's especially for the men, just because all the girls are doing are not every. When I say that, it doesn't mean everyone, but
broad
a lot of them are just swiping left or right, and so they're just going by looks or by how much you make.
Yep.
And it's like, why would
by looking at you, how much they think you make?
Well, there's that, and then like, why would a 22-year-old go out with a 22-year-old man? She'll just go out with the 30-year-old who's already got a good job probably. And there, there you had that 22 being an incel, and it's not his fault. It's just the way society's become. It's terrible.
Yes. Well, hopefully the next current upcoming generation will start bucking that trend. So
I hope so. Yeah. But they're not going out like they used to. Like, I mean, we went to bars to meet people. Yeah. You strike out a million times, you'll get one, lucky
one
girl
phone number, maybe.
What?
Maybe one phone number.
Yeah, maybe you'll get 10 phone numbers and one of them will be real.
Yeah.
Good point. And, it's, it's just not like that anymore. It's really bad for the younger men. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, I agree. I'm about to live through it. Currently on the edge of it. Anytime.
I don't think the women have it as bad. Obviously, they have their pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good. I still think the whole courting and all that should still happen. Meeting people. How would you say it? Like in, I guess like in a real way where you're not just looking at dating apps.
Like, yeah.
Something that's a little bit more real. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think a 22-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man usually have the same things in common. I should say this. If you're a 22-year-old woman looking for a 35-year-old man,
I don't think they're looking for it. They're just taking their best options.
Right. I think that guy may be looking to have a family, and you're 22, not looking to have a family. Kind of stuff.
Or
like that.
you might.
Your lives are not alike. He's looking for a piece of ass.
It's not. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, yes, a lot of the online dating thing is just all about hooking up. But think about this: if you're a 30-year-old guy who's focused on his career and now he's ready to find a wife, you're not going to look for a 30-year-old wife. You're just not. You're gonna date the ones, the girls who are, especially if you're doing really well. You're going to try to find that, I don't know, 22 might be a little young, but 24, 25, 26. Now all the guys that are 24, 25, 26 still are trying to find their way. They're not making any money yet. And they're stuck. They're stuck because these guys that are 30, 35 are getting all the girls because that's how it goes, man. But before, there was no way for that guy except at a bar or an event, maybe. Before, there was really no way for those guys to meet these girls. So they ended up hooking up.
Yeah.
Not hooking up, but maybe finding a relationship a little sooner. Now they can postpone that because they got their pick of the litter there.
Yeah. I just don't think it's going to work out like they think. I don't know. I just think they're too far. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's hard. It's hard. And we forgot to include the me culture. It's the me. Everything's about me. I want six figures, six pack abs.
There is that I think that's mainly because of social media.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the dating situation is not the same as when we were younger. I would say probably for the last 15 years, it's been kind of messed
social
up,
medias,
right?
Yeah.
Social media, not even social media, just the whole dating apps, whatever the Tinder, I don't know which ones there are, but those things have really messed up real dating.
It's not helping the birth rate at all, folks.
Right.
Birth rate at all.
Yeah.
So go out and date, see people, touch grass. Come on. Lastly, I'll wrap it up with a rare spotting of a fisher. Not a fisherman, but a fisher. It is an animal in the weasel family. The weasel, mink, martins, and others.
First time in more than a century.
Yeah, first time in more than a century. They've seen dozens of reports of sightings Roland, Ohio. And why did it disappear? Does it even say?
Yeah, they were hunted. They call it harvested, but they were. Yeah. I bet they were. They liked the fur.
Oh yeah,
it looks so soft and cuddly that I think a nice coat would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, same families as weasels, minks. Mink coat. You hear that all the time. So so how did it get back here? I wonder.
Well, conservation that the metro parks are doing. They saw them in southern Ohio in 2013 for the first time in 100 years, or since the 1800s, I should say. And then they just this year, I think, is first time in Cuyahoga. And I would just think that conservation is helping this. And it's also brought back the otters, bobcats, and trumpeter swans, which I'm not familiar. But the bobcats, we started seeing them a few years ago in southern Ohio. Now we're starting to see them here. Like, I think Geauga's getting them.
Yep, move to where the food is. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're going to move where the food is. But I mean, if there's a lot of conservation going on as far as like land,
it helps
keeping
all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's real good. Then we're starting to see bears again. Like in Hinckley, Ohio,
natural selection is back. Yay!
Yeah, kind of, and not really. But
no, not really.
If you want natural selection or natural, you're going to bring the wolves back too, and I hope they don't do that. But I was going to say, a lot of these animals disappeared in the 1800s when they were built, farms, because of like wolves and bears and stuff were just, here in Hinckley, what they did was form a line of people from the community and just killed everything in their walk. They just did a walk. I think they did a walk
after cattle and sheep and stuff.
Yeah. So,
it was different back then.
Yeah, a little bit different. A little bit different.
Yeah. But good news. Good news. That's why we bring good things to life. It's the Fisher's back. So
it's kind of like it's a animal.
Yeah, it looks like a ferret, basically.
Looks like a ferret. It's cute.
Cute little.
It's
got big claws.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like it's nice to see that this is happening.
Yeah, it's good news. It's good stuff. Like it.
Now I'm going to go trap some and make a coat.
Yeah, because they do look furry and cuddly. Okay. Funny. And that wraps up our day, our show, our week.
I'm just trying to get PETA to write me a letter.
Is that what you're trying to get? Trying to get some exposure for the show. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. PETA, crookedrivercast.com, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Send all your PETA letters there.
We like Fisher coats.
We love Fisher coats. We like fish. We like coats. I mean, it's the perfect match. Send us a note. Send us a story if there's something in your area that you want us to cover, you think we're missing out. Check out the blog when the show comes out on Mondays. Follow along. And thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. Do appreciate your time. And we'll talk to you next week.